Maybe one day I'll be what you need. But don't wait too long. Because when that day comes, I may have already given up. That's what I said to my condo just days before I found the house that I'm currently sitting in now. Actually, no, that was a Google image search when I looked up moving quotes. Suffice it to say, the poor reason for having a lack of content lately has been because we have moved. And I mentioned this in my last post, but we're settled in now. I have my computer finally set up, and I am back at it again. The first game that I have pre-ordered is Portal Games' Robinson Crusoe Adventures on the Cursed Island. The one thing that is universally known, or I guess universally accepted about this game, is that it's very difficult. And if you play it, you will die. It's also got a Robinson Crusoe theme, where you're stuck on a deserted island. It's cooperative and very difficult. Most people say that they lose this game primarily, which is fantastic because a lot of those things are true about one of my favorite games, Friday, which I have reviewed and I've done gameplay for. Same sort of concept. You're stuck on a desert island, Robinson Crusoe themed, and you lose. I've played this game 11 times already and have lost every single one, and it's still one of my favorite games. I think this is probably something that I'll really, really enjoy, and I'm fingers crossed, because the second edition that Portal Games is releasing has better components. The biggest complaint was the rulebook was bad, and this updates the rulebook, and it's cheaper than the first edition. Coincidentally, the timing coincided perfectly with the birthday card that had the perfect amount of money for it. Another pre-order that I got is the Betrayal at the House on the Hill Widow's Walk expansion. I've actually done a review on this one as well. You can go back and take a look. But Betrayal at the House on the Hill is the kind of game where you and some friends explore a haunted house. Halfway through the game, someone's the traitor. Super unique concept. It's fun. It's thematic. Again, I really like those heavily thematic games. So this one's fun. You and your friends are exploring a house. You're laying tiles. You're flipping over rooms as you're walking. Scary stuff happens, and then halfway through, one of you turns out to be a traitor. Someone has to leave the room, and they open up a little book and read and see what the second half of that game is going to be like. Now, in the base set, there's 50 different scenarios, which is a lot. You don't know how that second half of the game is going to go, which, just from, an initial feeling, when I read about that, I was like, man, I've never even heard of something like this. Granted, it's not as wide open as maybe an RPG is, but it's super cool when you go into this game with a basic idea on, how the gameplay goes, no idea how the second half is going to go. Now, there's 50 haunts in the base scenario, but this expansion, the Widow's Walk one that I got, adds 50 more of those. It adds just a ton of new content, and it was only, I want to say it's $25 MSRP, but I was able to pre-order it at Miniature Market, which is actually, I pre-ordered Robinson Crusoe from there as well. This is the first time I've used an online retailer other than Amazon. But I was able to purchase it from them for like $17, which is, for the amount of content for a game that I really enjoy, it was incredible. So moving on to Kickstarter. Now, Kickstarter is not a guaranteed pre-order, especially if the company goes belly up for a game that you've backed. That being said, the two that I did back are both reputable companies, and one already had a successful print run. So the first one that I backed is Millennium Blades. So they had a second print run of this. I missed the first print run. It didn't sound interesting to me at all. It sounded like just an LCG, CCG type deal. And to one extent it is. And I haven't done a review on this, and I will, because this quickly became my favorite game. And I missed out on the original Kickstarter, which means that I lost $20. Like, I could have gotten this for $20 cheaper if I'd have backed it originally. So when the expansion came back up on Kickstarter, I absolutely backed it, like, right away. It comes with a ton of new promos and everything. This is a CCG simulator. So it's like taking Magic the Gathering, months worth of play of Magic the Gathering. We're talking buying booster packs, separating out the good and the bad cards, creating sets, building your deck, and then going to tournaments and playing. It combines that all within 2 hours, and it simulates this whole process of buying and exploring different avenues for your deck, selling and trading to other players. Really, like, it did something that I didn't know board games could do, or I guess in this case card games. Absolute blast, and it's super accessible too. Like, it's not the type of game that it's like, oh, he plays Magic the Gathering, he's gonna like this, but they don't play Magic the Gathering. No, my wife detests Magic the Gathering, deplores it, absolutely hates it. She enjoyed this. Not only enjoyed it, she destroyed me at it, and I am absolutely looking forward to the set rotation expansion that I also backed with some promos, which is really cool, and I can't wait. The last thing that I've got pre-ordered Kickstarter right now is Colosseum Emperor's Edition. Now, Colosseum is a game that was originally produced by Days of Wonder. Tasty Minstrel is producing it now, which I have absolutely no fears that their Kickstarter is going to, go belly up or whatever. It's already passed, so it is currently in production. It's the type of game that, I heard the name and it clicked. Like, I recognized the name because I remember seeing a box behind certain reviewers that I respect that said Colosseum. It's about all I knew about it, is that, the name sounded familiar. So I looked up some gameplay videos, some review videos. I read the rule book, and it's got a really cool auction mechanic, a unique scoring mechanism where you're putting on, over the course of the game, a number of shows, but only the highest scoring show counts as your points for that game. So everything's this build up. And you're, building your own unique Colosseum, you're putting on different shows, you're competing with other Colosseums, you're trying to get royalty in there, in a fairly non-complex board game scenario that adds gameplay that I think that I'll really enjoy, and I'm really excited about this. Kickstarter is known for having, these exclusives, so I was able to get in a little bit on that. I got, a custom dust sleeve and some bubble wrap. Also, on a side note, a while back I did a preview video for a Kickstarter that was going to be starting up for Warlures. If you'd like to check out that video, please do. That Kickstarter has gone live, and so I mentioned to the creator that I would mention on my channel when that's live, so it is. I'll include a link to the Kickstarter, as well as I'll throw down the Board Game Geek links for all the games that I've mentioned today. But yeah, I encourage you to check that out. Thanks for watching. We're going to get more content up, hopefully more regularly. In the meantime, I will see you next time.